Hello, and welcome back to the Full Routine podcast and YouTube channel. My name is Cassie. I am the founder of the Full Routine. We are a Pilates studio based in beautiful Newport Beach, California, and online. We film. Today we are filming. We teach and hold reformer and class called Mat Make It Hot. So reformer is traditional reformer, pretty similar to everything that you have taken in any type of Pilates class, except we teach it a little different here. We like to do things super classical with an athletic twist. And then Mat Make It Hot is our signature class that I developed. It is a combination of classical mat Pilates and a little bit more contemporary sculpt and shape with weights and ankle weights. It's all set to music and we do it in a heated room. It's super fun, it's super sexy, and it's the great workout that you can do in between your reformer classes. So I always say, like, do a couple reformer classes, sandwich them with a couple Mat Make It Hot classes, and you are set for the week. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we are going to be talking about different routines. And at the Full Routine, our kind of like lingo, or not lingo, our mantra, our definition of a full routine. The full routine, or a full routine, is a combination of non-negotiable daily habits and or practices that you do, or I do, to achieve a desired result so that you're living the life that you want to live. And it could be as simple as, like, what's your travel packing routine? Or what's your nightly skincare routine? Or something as big as, like, what's your, full day? What do you do from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed? So I'm going to be interviewing different people about different routines, and I'm also going to be talking about a lot of routines that I have. Because if you think about it, and I'm pointing and kind of highlighting you towards this idea of a routine throughout your day, you're going to say, oh, well, that's just my routine. That's what I do. Or, the kids are going to come home from school and you guys have like your routine. You're going to find that word routine shows up a lot in your day-to-day practice and all the things that you do during the month or during your life or during a season. So today I'm going to be talking about my morning routine, and that's kind of like the first routine that I ever highlighted and like put down onto words, or put down onto paper and into words, and talked about it on social media, talked about it on different events that I was a speaker at, and it really made me realize the importance of having certain routines during your day that are non-negotiable, that help you to achieve something, be successful, feel amazing, be productive, whatever it was. So my morning routine, I didn't call it my morning routine, I called it the 3 M's, and it goes a little something like this. The 3 M's are meditate, motivate, and move your body. And this was like the most simple thing the first time I spoke about it in public. I just called it this, I think I called it like the secret to achieving your goals. And I said it was the 3 M's. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. I came up with something. From there, I also developed this thing called the 3-2-1 method, which is tied to fitness. But we'll talk about it on another episode. But today it's the 3 M's. Meditate, motivate, and move your body. So what does that look like for me? So on a day-to-day basis, Monday through Friday, I set an alarm for 4:30. Right now it's set for 4:30. It's gone as early as 4:15 and it's gone as late as 4:45. It kind of just depends upon my habits, everything that's coming after I do the 3 M's. But right now my alarm is set for 4:30. And I've been doing this like ridiculously early wake-up call since about 2017. And so by now my body just knows that Monday through Friday I'm waking up that early. Sure, I have a nighttime routine that allows me to wake up this early, but now that my body knows the alarm rarely goes off, I'm usually waking up before the alarm goes off. So I wake up get up, go to the bathroom, take my thyroid medicine, and then I either climb back into bed if it's too cold outside, or I go sit out on my patio, or I go sit in the living room, but I go someplace where I can kind of focus back in. And I start with meditation. So meditation for me looks different depending upon what season I'm in, or what's going on in my life, or if I'm traveling, do I have time? Am I with someone else that prevents me from doing my full meditation? Like whatever it is. But I do get some form of meditation in every morning. So currently I'm doing something called a quad check. And it's something that I learned this past May when I went to the Hoffman Institute. I did the Hoffman process. It's amazing. I highly suggest you check it out. Completely changed my life. And one of the things we learned there is this quad check. And I actually listened to a little thing on the app. It's a guided meditation, if you will. I listened to a guided meditation that takes me through kind of getting into the zone. And then it asks me the 4 different questions with quad. And the whole practice takes anywhere from, I'm gonna say 10 to 20 minutes, depending upon which audio thing I'm listening to. And then it will often prompt you to take some time and write something down. And some days I feel like doing that, other days I don't feel like doing that, the written part. So it can be shorter or longer. Prior to doing my quad checks, I was doing lots of things. I was just sitting and listening to my thoughts. I would listen to guided meditations from different apps or things on YouTube, or things I had downloaded in the past. I've done lots of different types of meditation, but the most important thing is I just take a minute and do what I call ground down. I was trying to think of what's the past tense of that, because I don't want to say like grinding down, but I ground down. So yes, I just woke up. No, I don't feel like I'm going to fall back to sleep if I close my eyes and sit there. But one other part about meditation that I wanted to, or one other hot tip about meditation, something that's really cool to do if you have the ability to go outside and do your meditation, is something that, and if one of my oldest best friends, if she's listening to this, maybe I'll have to send it to her so she can listen to it. But a long time ago, it had to be like maybe 20 years ago, my friend Michelle said to me, told me about a meditation that she was doing, and it's something that I had forgotten about, and then I just brought back into practice because I have this patio that is up on the 2nd floor, and it's really beautiful outside when I wake up, and I can listen and do this meditation. So she said, you kind of sit there and you can do it with your eyes open or your eyes closed, and you start to listen, and you listen for things that are right in your vicinity. So for me, it might be sprinklers, it might be the pool filter that's going on, and I listen for it and I acknowledge the sounds that are all around me. And then she said, go up a little higher. And so maybe those are the birds, or there's palm trees and the wind is coming and I can hear the wind rustling through the palm tree leaves. And then she would say, focus in on that and then go a little higher. So I happen to live by the John Wayne Airport. Usually when I'm doing my meditation, there are no planes flying by. But sometimes there are planes flying by going to Long Beach. And so if you think about like what's above the birds and what's above, then it's planes, or there's some type of, maybe there's a siren somewhere out, or there's traffic somewhere, and I'm hearing that. And then she said, then think about what's above that and what's above that, and just keep going until the sounds that are, the pool filter sounds are, you're not hearing those anymore. Way, way, way up there by the clouds. And it takes me anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to do that meditation, but I'm focusing on something other than the thoughts in my head. Sometimes they come back in, but it's a really cool meditation. I encourage you to try it. So that's the first M, is meditate. However many minutes you do it for, just set the intention and just do it. The second one is motivate. So what I mean by motivate is I receive meditation. I receive motivation from a lot of different sources. Sometimes somebody will send me a message on Instagram talking about how a class made them feel so good, or a friend will say something to me. And I love those messages, but I also like to motivate people, not necessarily in a class, but send a message or a thought to someone that I think will motivate them to have a good day, or if I know they have something going on or coming up, or something that they might be going through. Not just a message of like, good morning, thinking about you, but like something bigger than that. Maybe it's a quote that I send somebody, or something that I think is helpful to help motivate someone. And sometimes I send to friends and family. Sometimes I just send to like acquaintances. Sometimes it's a DM on Instagram, whatever, but some type of, I want to motivate someone. I want to start my day by motivating someone somehow. I will also use that time to read something motivational that I can then share with someone else. So I will read a book on personal development, or listen to something where I'm either motivating someone, or I'm learning how to motivate someone, or I'm taking in information that I know I'll be able to use for someone else. And that's motivation. Just takes a couple minutes. Sometimes it takes longer. I don't know. Sometimes I'll listen to something that's really good and I'll just sit there if I have the time and listen to it or read it. And then the third one is to move my body. So that is fitness, and that is probably 77 episodes long. So I want to give you the really abbreviated version of it. Moving my body every single day in one way, shape, or form is non-negotiable. And 9 times out of 10, I'm starting it in the dark time. I call it in the dark time. I do it really early. And the reason why I do it really early, and this is something that started a really long time ago when my daughter, I have one child, was living at home. So when she was young, growing up, I knew that once she woke up, my day was pretty much not mine anymore. There were parts of it that were mine, but as a mother, wife at the time, and business owner or employee or whatever I was, once that kid wakes up, or the dog, for you it might be the kid, the dogs, the husband, the wife, whoever it is, or the emails going off, or whatever, your day then belongs to some part of your day belongs to some other person, place, or thing. That morning time, when it's just me and everyone else is asleep, it's mine. So waking up, doing these things, and moving my body is non-negotiable. And by move my body, I mean it could be anything, so long as it's a physical thing that you're doing. So a lot of people think that I work out what I call balls to the wall multiple times a day, and they're right. Some days I do work out balls to the wall every single day, but not every day. And as I gotten older, I become better about listening to my body, about what it happens to need. I happened to have been in Vegas yesterday and stayed up until 4:30 in the morning, and I slept for 90 million hours last night. But I knew I needed to move my body today, but I knew it was not going to be a balls to the wall. So I grabbed a friend and we went for an 1.5 hour long power walk that involved some hills, and it was really great. And we started it really early. So it could be a walk, it could be yoga, it could be lifting weights, it could be a ball wall spin class. I don't care, but it's some form of movement. And the reason that I do that is plethora. Again, 77 episodes long, but it gets my body moving. It boosts my endorphins, which boosts my mood. I have a sense of accomplishment. I feel better about myself. I'm setting myself up for success for the day. I've moved my body, so there's pretty much a slimmer chance I'm gonna eat like an asshole because I've already, committed to some sort of wellness first thing in the morning. And it gives me a sense of I've taken care of myself first so that I can be really great for everybody else after me. Because if I didn't move my body, if I didn't do these 3 M's, even going back to the meditation, and I said, I'm going to do it after I go to work, or I'm going to do it after work is over, I'm going to do it after the kids get home from school, I'm going to do it after I submit this paper, I'm putting myself at the bottom of the list, and I'm putting these other things and people or whatever before my own basic needs. And you might not think that moving your body is a basic need, but it absolutely is. Again, in 77 more episodes. But even if you don't think it is, if you said, I'm going to do it after work, and I don't want to diss people who are working out after work, but as your day goes on, there's a few things that happen with that mindset. It's, I still have to work out tonight. Or, am I going to get to work? You start to get anxious. You see your day piling up. Am I going to get to work out? If you already did it, that's one less thing you have to be anxious about. That's one less worry that you have to think, I still have this on my list to do. Do it in the morning before everybody else gets up, before your day gets away from you. That's one thing you're checking off of your day. So I understand you might be a shift worker. You might not be able to work out until the evening. Your kid might have to do ice skating practice that starts at 4:30 in the morning. I understand there are circumstances that you might have big there are days when I do have to work out at nighttime. But 9 times out of the 10, and it's kind of ass backwards because I have classes that we teach here at 5 and 6 o'clock at night. And I want you to come because I want to fill those classes, make some money, and make the instructor some money. But yeah, I'd rather you work out. Let me talk to the mic. I'd rather you work out first thing in the morning. You're going to feel so much better all day. Hopefully you heard that. I think you did. Get it done first thing in the morning. Make it non-negotiable. All of these things. So for me, it's the 3 M's. For you, it might be something completely different. It might be prayer. It might be cooking food for the whole day. It definitely has to include moving your body. But whatever your morning practice is, come up with a few basic things, back into it, know how long each thing takes you so that you can figure out what time you have to wake up to accomplish those things, and make it so it's not so much of a hassle for those of you who have other people that live in the house with you. So with my family and my daughter, I would say, I'm going to get up, I'm going to do all of this before you wake up so it's not an issue. My ex-husband knew, she's going to crawl out of bed. I was quiet. I laid my clothes out ahead of time. I tried to get it done with as little inconvenience to everybody else during the day, or everybody else in the house. And therefore, if I did make a little noise, they were okay with it, because 9 times out of 10, I wasn't noisy. Traveling, I do the same 3 M's for the most part, especially the exercise part. And when my family saw, when I didn't do it, and they saw the difference between Cassie mom who did her 3 M's and Cassie mom who didn't do her 3 M's, they were much more forgiving if I woke them up in a hotel room or whatever, because they knew they were going to get a better version of me for the whole rest of the day if I got to do this stuff first. So I always talk about not eating like an asshole. Don't be an asshole about all this stuff. Don't make a big commotion about it, because you're doing all this stuff for you. It's not for anybody else. It is kind of for everybody else, but you're doing it for you. So don't make a big deal. I gotta work out in the morning. Okay, no, we can't go yet because I have to work out. Don't make it like that. Wake up. Make it make it an accomplishment, something that's a positive for yourself. And with as little to no disruption to the rest of the house or, people that are waiting on you. And I promise you, you're gonna feel physically, mentally, emotionally amazing. You're gonna show up for everybody else better during your day. The end of the day, you're gonna feel a sense of accomplishment, go to bed happy because you did something well for yourself. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna go to bed a lot earlier because you gotta get up super early, and you're gonna make those adjustments in your day. And I don't care what anybody tells you, if you go to bed early, you are winning the day, because a well-rested mind and body shows up better the next day. So don't let people, you're no fun, you go to bed too early. Like, what are they gonna say when you're like 60 or 70 or 80 and you're outliving them, and by outliving them, I don't mean alive still, like you're jamming with your kids and or your grandkids, or you're flying all over the world, you're doing all the things that you want to do. So all these practices, all these routines, you'll start to see become part of this cycle of your whole day. I used to have another podcast and another business called The Wow Life, W-O-W, which the Wow Life, it's so wow. But W-O-W actually stood for Wheel of Wellness. And if you looked at the Wheel of Wellness, there were all these things like health and relationships and career and whatever, and how they all intertwine throughout the day. And they're like this big cycle. And when I was explaining what it was like to be on the Wheel of Wellness or the Wheel of Unwellness, how they all bled together, there was no starting off point. Like say, well, if you start your day like this, you're on this Wheel of Unwellness going all around and around and around. And the same kind of holds true explaining the 3 M's of the morning. Back into it, it starts at nighttime when you're gonna go to bed. What's your nighttime routine to get you set up? My lovely camera crew, assistant, star, marketing guru back here, sales guru, we were just talking about the importance of sleep and how it's a healthy habit that you can have that doesn't cost any money. You don't have to go somewhere to get it done. And having a great night of sleep sets you up for success for the morning routine. And then the morning routine sets you up for success with your relationships, your career, those routines. And then, what happens at night? Where's the fun? Where's the sex? Where's the pleasure? Where's the relaxation time, the recovery time? Those are all routines that happen in the night. And if you started off the day right, and then you had a great day at work, and then you did and it just is this cycle, the Wheel of Wellness or the Wheel of Unwellness. It's going crazy like in a carnival. You don't want to be on that one, you want to be on the other. But it's a series of non-negotiable daily habits, these routines, these mini routines that make up this big routine that set you up for success, to live a life that you desire. Or you just have no plan and you're just free balling it, and you don't know what you're gonna end up with at the end of the day, and it's just scattered all around, no routine. So structure is good, and structure doesn't have to be tight, constricting. You can still have structure. You gotta find what works for you though. And so that's my hope with these podcasts and these videos, is that you hear little pieces of certain routines that people have, these stacks of habits. And you might hear something go, I can incorporate. I can take 5 minutes to meditate when I first wake up in the morning. I can try that. Try it for a week, try it for 2 weeks. It takes 3 weeks to 21 days of doing something for it to be a habit, scientifically proven. And you probably need that amount of time to figure out whether you even like it or not. Because probably if something's new, it feels uncomfortable, you're not gonna like it. And if you give up after 1 to 7 sessions, you probably are doing yourself a disservice, and you're that person who's just always trying something new and nothing ever sticks. So listen to the episodes, take what works for you, get motivated, get inspired. If I talked about something that was exciting for you and you tried it and you loved it, shoot me a DM on Instagram, either through The Full Routine or Smarty Cassie. If you know me in real life, you can text me, you can send me a smoke signal, you can pretty much find me anywhere. If you have a routine that you want to know more about, or you have a question about a routine, shoot us a DM. I'll find someone that knows how to talk about about it, and we'll have them on the podcast. If there's, if you have ideas for me that you think, oh, she would love this, come and shoot me a DM, or come to class if you live local, and let me know. I want to hear your ideas. I want to hear your routines as well. And with that, I will say thank you so much for listening and or watching. Make sure to follow us on the Full Routine, or me, Smarty Cassie, on Instagram. And I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out. Word to your mother.